When you step into your fears, somebody said, it was Winston Churchill, he said that courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you. It will enable you to transcend yourself. I went to the next door. You like to buy a nice working television? No! Bam! Went to the next one. No! Bam! After a while, I no longer took it personal. And I began to play a game. I said, well, I know there's a yes out here somewhere. And I'm going to keep on until I find it. And I'm not going home until I do. And I continue to knock on doors. And then somebody eventually would say yes. And I said, are you sure? And I would go in there and I would get the sale. When you have something you want to do, if you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people or trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve. And other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream. It's an interesting thing about life, I've also found, that if you don't have the courage to act, sometimes and particularly if you have something special to do, life will move on you. If it were not for life, I would still be a disc jockey. I didn't just leave voluntarily to go to the state legislature. I was fired. I was working on a job, and I came home one day. I was married at the time, and I told my former wife, I said, that guy Bert I work for is stupid. She said, if he's so stupid, why does he sign you a paycheck? Now, you see why I divorced her, right? That night, I could not sleep well. Here was a guy that was controlling my life. I was going through all kinds of changes because this man controlled my paycheck. And it was Carlyle who said, truth crushed to earth shall rise again. Winston Churchill said, the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but at the end, there it is. And we know scripture that says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And the truth that I had to come to grips with, that I wasn't in charge of my destiny. The truth was that I wasn't giving all that I had. The truth was that there are some things that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the courage to act on those things.
Number one is confidence. Confidence. I love this humorous thought on confidence that I have next. Confidence is the uplifting feeling you have before you truly understand the situation. Hey, by the way, show your hands. How many of you have been there before, huh? You just feel so confident and you feel so good. And you go, oops, oops, oops. Okay. Great leaders are confident in themselves. They're confident in their vision, and they're confident in people. And the result of that, confidence in themselves, their vision, and the people, the result of that is that the people have confidence in their leader. A confident leader gives people confidence. In fact, I'm going to do a whole lesson on this next statement, because when I had my legal pad and I was spending my day just thinking on this, I realized once I made this next statement that I was on to something, and I've got to go tap into my mind a little bit more and pull it out. We think of leaders sometimes and we think, oh, they're so charismatic. And we think of charisma as a personality. Listen to me very carefully, because what I'm going to say is going to help some of you. Confidence is the core of charisma. When you see a person that has charisma, the core of that ability to be free and open and enjoy their life, the very core of that is that they are confident in themselves. And I remember so well, let me tell you a quick story. I remember so well. This would be, this would be in the 1970s. And Margaret and I were going somewhere, and so I stopped at McDonald's. They didn't have a drive-through then. I mean, it's where you got out of the car and you went in. And I wanted to get something to eat, and I wanted to get a Diet Coke. And so I went in and I asked for a Diet Coke, and I'll never forget, the girl behind the counter said, we don't have Diet Coke, we just have Coke. And I said, okay. Then I'll tell you what, I don't want that. Just give me a cup full of ice. And she looked at me and said, oh, I don't think I can do that, sir. I mean, she's looking on her little deal, and there's no place where you punch cup of ice. And so she said, well, she said, I don't think we can do that. And I smiled real confident at her, and I said, yes, you can. And I'll never forget, she looked at me and said, okay. And she went over and she got a cup, she got it nice, she was happy as a clam, gave it to me, and I thanked her very much, and off I went. And as I walked back to the car, all of a sudden I realized what confidence does for people.
We've been given the power of choice. Every life form except human beings operates by instinct in the genetic code. Now, why not human beings? Because here it is. We've been given the dignity of choice. We're not like a robot. We're not stuck like a tree, using up all the nourishment, nothing left, now you die because you can't change location. Not true. Humans can go north, south, east, west. Humans can change, do anything they want to do. We've been given the dignity. But here's what's interesting about all life form except humans. Every life form except humans strives to the max of its potential. How tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, that is impossible. A tree grows as high as it can, drives down every root it can, produces every leaf it can, extends itself as far as it possibly can. Every life form extends to the max, except... human beings. Now, why not human beings? Because we're not robots. We've been given the dignity of choice. And here's a couple of alternatives on the dignity of choice. To be part of or all of. You have the potential to be. And you got the choice. Do a little to make yourself comfortable and forget the rest, or do it all. And there's nobody here to dictate you got to do it all. That's nonsense. You got to be rich because we live in a rich country. That's nonsense. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to do it all. You can do a little, do some more. Take advice, but don't take orders. Take information, take training, take teaching, but don't take orders from no one that tells you how you need to live and what you need to own and what you need to do. Somebody says, well, you need to be successful. That's a personal choice, being successful. What we teach is the possibilities, and everybody chooses. Take a little, take a lot, do some, do nothing. Abraham Lincoln said, since I would be no one's slave, I will be no one's master. Excellent philosophy. If a guy says, hey, I'm soon cashing it in, I'm heading for the mountains. I'm going to live in a little cabin, live off the land, and feed the squirrels. If he goes and does that, guess what? He's a smashing success. Why? He's doing what he designed to do and went and did it and pulled it off. You can't say, no, that's not successful. That is the epitome of success, is giving a design to your life and go pull it off, making progress in that direction that satisfies you. If it doesn't satisfy you, make alternatives and you change. And if you get some better ideas, sure, you may follow someone's suggestion and ideas, but not orders. Design your own life like you want it that will fit. Now, if you take on some responsibilities, now you got to consider those. Yes, you can ignore your responsibilities, but you won't feel good about that. Guess what the old prophet said? Some things that taste good now in the mouth turns bitter later in the belly. So you don't want to sacrifice. We all must suffer one of two pains. Regardless of your choice of lifestyle and what you want to do, we must all suffer one of two pains. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And what we suggest to everybody is to consider the discipline. Disciplines weigh ounces. Regrets weigh tons.
Then what do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it. The reason why I speak with so much passion, E.T., why do you speak with so much authority? Because I'm talking about my life, not something that I read. I ate out of trash cans. I had no business eating out of trash cans. I lived in abandoned buildings. I had no business living in abandoned buildings. But E.T., your daddy wasn't in your life. I told you, I didn't get a new daddy. I didn't get a new mama. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying, I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said, I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. Now, let me say this before I move forward. And I can't explain it, but you better feel me. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture. Let me tell y'all, I'm not from New Zealand, guys. Come on, listen to me very closely. I'm not from New Zealand, but I know about, let me say it this way so I can help you. I know about what team. I've never seen All Blacks play a day in my life. I've never been to the stadium. Where's the stadium? Help me out. Somebody said, get the All Blacks. I'm like, yep, that's what I need, All Blacks. Yep, I need the All Blacks. Why? Because they say what I'm saying. They just said it in rugby. I don't know. I'm like, ooh, that's a violent sport. They're